Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, as you can see, we got the Mandalorian Incinerator Trooper in front of you. Now this just arrived from Hasbro Pulse is where I ordered it from a few months ago. I think it was their PulseCon it was available. I wasn't 100% sure at the time that I was going to get the Incinerator Trooper, but I went ahead and did it anyways. Let's just take a closer look since it's arrived. Here he is. He looks really kind of cool. And when I opened the box that it came in, that red just stood out right away. It just looks really, really cool. So it comes with a new side art box, which is, of course, curved. I'm still mixed on this. I think they could have been rectangular. You could have saved that much space. And then you got, of course, the back that has that little blurb on it. But I do think it looks really cool, and we're going to open it up and take a closer look at the figure and see how updated it is, or if it's a just repainted old figure. Okay, so let's open it up. Okay, so I did get the Incinerator Trooper out of the box. He's sitting on the shelf with his accessory of his flame. We're going to talk about that in a second. This is another thing that I love about The Mandalorian is that we're getting regular figures from the series. I know that sometimes it can be a little bit too much, but I feel like it has slowed down a little bit. So before we get into the Incinerator Trooper from The Mandalorian, what I want to do is just quickly show off the soft goods cape that I did for my Mando figure. Now, when I did my review, he has that hard cape, and if you put it on in the backpack, you couldn't get it to go underneath. So something that I did was I just basically made this dark blue cape. I made it with like a hood, but of course I sewed that hood down and I just sewed it into kind of the shape I wanted. And the cool thing about it is it kind of pushes to the side, and then that top peg goes into the upper shoulder and sort of just holds it in place, so when you have them sitting on the shelf, you can see it sticking out to the side, but it's nicely tucked in behind his cape. I didn't add any wiring or anything like that. I just wanted to do a quick little cape so I could get him on the shelf with his backpack on. The other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to bring out this Incinerator Trooper. This is from The Force Awakens. It's a first order. So I got this guy because I thought he was actually pretty cool. And this guy is going to be in the regular Stormtrooper attire that we remember from the original movies, only he's got this upgraded paint and he's got this really cool backpack with this supporting his flames. So let's just take a closer look at the face. I think that actually looks really cool with the paint. I like the fact that the paint is not perfect and it's a little bit worn out. I think it really adds character to the figure. What I want to do is take my original Stormtrooper and just do a side-by-side on the helmets really quick so you can see where the paint differences are. And the subtle differences in, say, up here in the temple part with the paint and the earpiece. And then we'll move on down. I think that looks really cool. The stomach pieces, of course, are a little bit different also. The belt is similar, but not the same. And I think that looks really cool. Now, the one thing that I want to show you on this figure is that he does have like some head tilt. What did I hear somebody say? Emotion. I think Sean Solo 8 says he shows some emotion. Or concern. I think he says emotion. So anyways, I guess that's the head tilt when you show emotion. So we saw that he can look forward and he can do that head tilt, which is actually really kind of like a cool feature. And the original one can also do a head tilt. So that's really nothing new, right? So the cool thing about this is if you look right here in the joint, this is an updated Stormtrooper. So he has a really, really wide shoulder raise, which is really, really cool, considering that this guy right here, that little arm piece would always block, and he would get about that far, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to show you this double jointed. It goes about like that. And then I'm going to show you the new articulation in this figure and how he can actually touch his helmet, which is actually really, really cool. So this figure already, just having the upgraded articulation is awesome, right? Plus, you get the benefit of having this really cool paint, this really cool garb right here that attaches to his tank. And it's super cool. And this tank easily comes off just by pulling these two tabs, and then you can slide it down. I'm not going to do that, but you can definitely take the tank off. And then the coolest thing about this figure, other than his upgraded articulation and a fantastic paint job, is some of the accessories that he comes with. He, of course, comes with his flame gun, but he also had this really cool flame piece that he can like attach to the front, and you can have him posed off there with the flame. Now let me just do the Mandalorian, and here he is standing just outside of the flames. There he is standing just outside of the flames range. He's probably going to have to get a refill on those tanks if he wants that flame to get a little bit further. But actually, this is actually a super cool figure. And just check that out with that flame sitting off. And I think it's really cool. That could have been a really cool addition with this one as well. But they didn't think about it then, but they're thinking about it now. So good job, Hasbro, on adding that flame to this figure. I think it looks really cool. Unfortunately, if his arm wasn't there to support the front end of that gun, my trooper is not going to be able to really hold that gun up unless I maybe tuck it under his shoulder. Then he can do like a one-arm draw. But I think that looks cool, and if you're doing like some sort of like photography or 3D effect, that just looks really cool. So there you have it, the Incinerator Trooper from The Mandalorian. I think it's a fabulous figure. If you run across it, I highly recommend it to add it to your collection. I think it's going to look fantastic up there with the rest of my Mandalorian figures. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great day.